can strengthen your thoughts on the positive side. So that's the principle of the two little guys on your shoulders. We did have some donations. Marcus Seaton says, my book is not for sale. It's free. I will send it to all. And then Cindy J donated $50. She says, love all you do. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, information, comedy with us. Love and light. And she's already got 15 thumbs up. We're at 1 hour in. We've already got 5,300 people watching. That's an incredible turnout. Thank you guys all for being here. So yes, Satan is not a joke. It used to be, you laugh about it, you say, oh yeah, those fundamentalist Christians and da-da-da-da, they're all obsessed with Satan. They think this is, you know, they think there's, oh my God, it's the devil, it's the devil. No, it turns out all you have to do is expand your imagination, take in some new information, you find out the devil is real. It's just this AI galactic presence. It has a force that we call the Luciferian force. It's there out in the cosmos. When you start going negative, this AI will start to interface with you. And it has grays, and it has reptilians, and it has insectoids. And these aliens will go to every planet they can find that is susceptible, planets where they can get in there. And what do? They don't show up openly. They don't show up in person. They work with people who are susceptible to their influence. And then they teach them the same stuff everywhere they go, just like they taught Crowley. You got to draw this pentagram on the ground. You put candles around each of the 5 sides of the star. You got to get everybody dressed up in these robes and these masks. You got to burn these candles. You chant this particular stuff. And then you engage in this particular ritualistic act, which is incredibly violent. You don't quite kill somebody, but you almost do. And then the demon comes in and finishes the job. And so I really didn't want to believe this. I'd heard about demons for many years. I'm like, no, dude, people don't, that's not real. Come on, give me a freaking break. But when I finally found out that the Alliance understands this and they take it very seriously, and then I found out, oh my gosh, you know, this is actually real and people are seeing this, that's when I wrote Michael Prophecies, started to put all this together, because I realized if this is real, it's very serious, because it's like a big show. I would definitely not recommend you watch the movie Hellraiser 2, but it's a whole manifesto on summoning demons. And so the Cenobites that you might have seen, there's the Pinhead guy, remember him? And he's got these needles all stuck in his head, and he's all bald and white, and his eyes are completely black, and he's, you know, doing this thing with his teeth. Cenobites represent demons. And so sure enough, Hellraiser 2, there's a guy in there who's a Nazi, and he really wants to see these creatures, and he has a mattress that somebody was killed on, and sure enough, he's able to go into the Cenobite world, and he actually, at the end of the movie, becomes a Cenobite. But it's considered one of the goriest and most horrific movies ever made, so I do not recommend you watch it. If you have the stomach for it, whenever there's the scenes of people with no skin, I just skipped over those. I didn't want to put myself through that, but if you can handle it, it's going to teach you a lot of stuff about what's really going on. It's very, very horrible, though. Satan, the lizard, or the reptilian, it makes sense. Mr. Catfish 2100. Yeah, I mean, I'm really kind of blown away by this, you guys. I didn't know that this stuff was true, but now I find out, yeah, you know what? It actually is real, and that's why people take this so seriously, and that's why they advertise it all the time. That's why you see it in music videos, you know, the Grammy Award ceremonies, the Super Bowl halftime show, Olympic opening and closing ceremonies. This is a very, very important part. There is something that, you know, my top Roth insider, the guy that actually was dealing with these Draco reptilians face-to-face over and over again, Uncle Jack. It's called the rules, mate. Let's get those glasses on, David. Because if you do, Uncle Jack, you got to have the glasses on, mate. They come right up to the border, mate, and they've got these things called meat wagons, and they bring people into these buses, and then you get bussed into an underground facility, mate. And next thing you know, you wake up on a Draco ship, they bring you out of stasis, and you become dinner. And so he told me that the Jason Society in the 1950s found crashed alien craft, and they got in there, and it literally is like just dead bodies everywhere. Body parts, hands, feet, arms, legs, heads, all rotting and smelly, and they just let them pile up. And it's so you can't imagine the horror when you go into a reptilian ship of what you're going to find in there. And that's the part that they said, mate, we can never tell anybody this, you know, because people are going to be so scared. So they actually, I was told, have these things called meat wagons, where people who are coming in illegally are actually bussed in, and you know, the next thing you know, they're in stasis on a ship, and eventually they get woken up, and that's what's going to happen. So it's very, very horrific. And again, you know, it's a really good incentive not to want to do anything like trying to sneak in somewhere, because if you try to work outside the cracks, then you can go missing and nobody's going to know. And I've heard about the meat wagons from at least 3 different insiders. So how do you tell the public that? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really want to have film of this. I wouldn't want to see the video of what it looks like inside a Draco ship. I wouldn't, you know, I mean, maybe it's better that we don't get to know all this stuff, but I think we're going to find out, and it's going to come in a series of waves. But yeah, this is an alien menace, and Satanism is a technology that works well, because apparently there are these beings that we would think of as demons. They only normally exist in kind of a thought form reality in the Earth's astral planes, but if human beings authorize them to manifest into physicality, they can for brief periods of time through this technology I was mentioning. There are other ways as well, including the whole skinwalker thing. As I said, it is illegal in the Zuni tribe tradition in Arizona. It is illegal to practice skinwalking. But if people do it properly, as I talked about before, I don't want to go into all the details again, it does involve killing people. And if you do it the right way, then apparently you become a werewolf. You can actually shapeshift into a wolf, kill somebody as a wolf, and now it's an untraceable murder. And they know about this in these tribes, and it's illegal to practice that art, if you want to call it that. So we had 2 more donations come in. These are the days, yeah, I mean, so this is the thing, dude. When you find out how real this is and how scary this is, and that, you know, satanic beings really exist, it's like you want to go in the opposite direction. You don't want to be a part of that. So Alive and Thriving says, these are the days of the armor of God. Pray. Pray when fighting. Pray alone. Pray with others. Pray by night. Pray by day. General Patton by Archbishop Dolan. Inaugural benediction. 45 and 47 smirked. Isn't that great? Yeah, because he's very likely the reincarnation of Patton. And then we have Krista. I got it right. Krista Litgens. We have a slide with you in there, Krista, by the way. Hi, David. Thank you for all you've been doing all these years. Keep the Wilcockery going. Celebrating her 5th super chat. UFO Mark II says, you don't need a horror movie because our planet already is a horror planet to be on with all the negativity and hellish things happening. And then we have Justin, is prayer an angelic technology? Yes, absolutely. It's very important to understand that it's not just evil, but evil really works. These lower astral demons can be brought into physicality. There's nothing they love more. They temporarily have a body, they can breathe, they can't talk, but they can make these horrible animalistic screeching noises. And, you know, they can telepathically communicate through somebody in the circle, one of the people wearing the masks. And so the masks also prevent you from remembering people's faces if you have a flashback. So Michael Larson, thank you for the donation. We are not talking about Corey Good today. This is one of the things that our attackers are obsessed with, and we're not getting into all that. But yes, I do believe that I was brought into a space program. Michael talks about it extensively in the Michael Prophecies. You can read it for yourself. So another thing that's very, very important that, you know, there's so many aspects to this, but part of it is that they have the aliens, the negative aliens, the reptilians, greys, etc. They have a very, very, very advanced mind control technology. That appears to be where MK Ultra came from, that it was coached to the Germans on how to do this. You can actually have a whole lifetime where periodically you're going to these ceremonies and you don't remember anything about it at all. And I've actually met with certain individuals who were part of things like Hollywood, where as I'm talking to them and they're saying, you know, every night I'd have these nightmares and I'd wake up screaming. I had all these night terrors. Nobody could explain it to me. And I start connecting the dots and I'm like, holy crap, you know, you probably were in this, but you don't remember. And then I'm like, well, I don't want you to remember while we're talking, because what if you go into some kind of traumatic thing and now you're going to have this it's not Steven Tyler, by the way, somebody completely different. I did mention Steven Tyler. I don't want anybody to think it was him. It's not. But yeah, if this happened to you, then it's all